Welcome back to Preps Today with John Millea. Two big topics we want to get to today. The first, National Coach of the Year. The other, John's top 5 John's Journal stories of the year. Been looking forward to this show for a long time. Obviously, prep sports and activities aren't occurring right now, but we still have lots to talk about, and we still love doing the show. This is Preps Today with John Millea. He's John Millea from the MSHSL. You can find his written work at John's Journal at MSHSL.org. This is his spoken word artistry at TalkNorth.com. I'm Jim Suhan from the Star Tribune. John and I worked together at the Star Tribune for a long time. Then he went off and created this position with the MSHSL that is just turned out to be so great on so many levels. The amount of work John puts in, the stories he finds, the relationships he forms around the state, the way he highlights good people at all levels of high school sports and activities. So check it all out. We do appreciate it. We're coming to you from the Aquarius Home Services Studio. We want to thank Pizza Barn in Princeton and Bay to Bay Boat Club. All right, John, tell us about the National Coach of the Year.
Yeah, Jim, the last couple of weeks we talked about some Hall of Famers, Joe Mauer, Chrissy Wendell-Pohl, Natalie Darwitz. We had a really high honor for a Minnesota coach who was named a National Coach of the Year by the National High School Athletic Coaches Association. Jeff Morris from Perham, someone I've gotten to know over the years. He coaches cross country and track and field, was named the Boys Cross Country Coach of the Year. Congrats to Jeff. This is an amazing guy. He's an outstanding coach, a great educator whose impact goes way beyond the kids he coaches. Especially the cross-country program at Perham. If I forget the numbers on how many kids are on those teams, the boys and girls, it's phenomenal. And they're successful. They have fun. They do great things in the community. So congrats to Jeff Morris from Perham on being a National High School Coach of the Year.
That's fantastic stuff. All right, let's start counting down the top 5 John's Journal stories of the year. We'll take a break somewhere there to thank our sponsors, but let's get that started.
Let's do number 5 and number 4, then we'll do the sponsors because the last 3 are really special to me. So here's number 5. In January, I did a story about the growth of girls wrestling, and I pardon the pun, I wrestled with how to do that. So I went to a girls wrestling tournament in Pine Island, which was phenomenal. 2 gyms, I don't know how many mats. It was just so much fun. And the reason I went there, the team from St. Michael, Albertville was there. They have 50 girls on the wrestling team. It's phenomenal. Wow. They're entirely separate from the boys. They practice at different times. It was just I talked with the 6 senior captains. It was just one of the most impressive groups of young people I've ever spoken with. So there's your number 5 story. Number 4, about a friend of mine up in Annandale, Skip Dolan. He retired last year after coaching many sports for more than 40 years. These last few years, he was only the boys basketball coach, won a state title recently. He also coached football, softball, girls basketball. His family is everything to Skip. All of his kids and grandkids are right there. And now he's able to devote all his time to them. He's just a great guy, really super friendly, beloved in that community and far beyond. So that's the number 4 story, Skip Dolan of Annandale.
Excellent. We'll get to the top 3 here shortly. We'll also ask John what his other summer plans are. John usually gets out and about and sees the world a little bit. Right now, though, we want to thank Jody Stay and the Pizza Barn in Princeton.
Yeah, we do, Jim. So many great things at the Pizza Barn are happening all the time. A great community, standard. They just do so many things for school groups, other groups. Outstanding food, of course. We talk about not just the pizza, but everything else on the menu all the time. They're always they have their great traditional menu items. The cow pie pizza is one of those, and they're always adding new things to the menu. And everything's available for dine-in, takeout, take and bake. They deliver, they cater. They've got the food trucks that, man, oh man, they'll hand you a piece of pizza that's bigger than your head. And my head is big, but those slices are bigger. If you go to the Pizza Barn Facebook page, you can keep up with everything that's going on, the food truck schedules, the new menu items. And if you want to see that menu before you head up there to Princeton or down there to Princeton, it's really easy. Go to pizzabarnprinceton.com. The full menu is there. If you're interested in booking a food truck, you can get the process started. We just can't thank everybody at the Pizza Barn enough. Our good friend Jody Stay and all her crew, they do wonderful things for a lot of people.
No doubt about it. Look forward to getting back up there soon. We also want to thank Beta Bay Boat Club. Great time of the year for boating.
Beta Bay Boat Club offers a limited number of season-long memberships in our private club and half-day or full-day pontoon boat rentals on Lake Minnetonka. Members have the opportunity to play on luxurious pontoon boats as well as a variety of well-appointed deck boats, speedboats, and offshore boats. Our daily pontoon boats are deluxe, custom-built boats with many amenities and comfortable seating for up to 14 people. Beta Bay Boat Club, Country Club Boating, 24 years in business and voted Minnesota's best 3 years in a row. Please visit us at betabayboatclub.com for more information. We look forward to welcoming you this summer.
And as I was throwing a little extra shout out just because I love Twill and the Dining Galleria so much. Got some great stuff there earlier this month. In and out in 10 minutes. They take good care of you. TwillMN.com, Twill and the Dining Galleria. All right, let's get to the top three stories of the year.
Yeah, these, as I was whittling through all the stories from the year, Jim, these three really stood out. And I wrestled with, first I came to the conclusion, these are the top three. Now, how do I put these in order? I did put them in order, but any one of these, any year could be the story of the year. So it's almost like I have three number one stories. I put them in this order. Number three, we talked about Jeff Morris and Perham. This story was from Perham. In August, I went up there for an annual cross-country gathering called the Brave Like Gabe Invitational in honor of Perham native Gabe Grunwald. She was an All-American runner for the Gophers, was a professional runner, just super inspirational. She fought cancer for 10 years. She passed away in 2019. And this Brave Like Gabe meet is unlike any other, not only any other cross-country meet, but any other sporting event I've been to. There are pictures of Gabe everywhere. Last fall when I was up there, her mom and dad were there, spoke to everybody afterwards during the awards ceremony. Gabe is still impacting people, 5 years after she left us. It's turning tragedy into positive things. It's fundraising, it's charity work for the Brave Like Gabe Foundation. It's just one of the most important events of the high school year. I hope I can get back up there this fall. Here's the number two story. This one was fun this spring. It's about Mason Archibald. He just graduated from Proctor High School, was on the track team for 3 years, ran the 800 meters. This dude is legally blind, and he runs 800 meters. It's incredible. I've written about a lot of incredible kids. Mason just blew me away, not only with the fact that he's out there with super limited vision. He can't see much at all, kind of a pinhole vision in one eye, the other eye completely blind. But he's out there running 800 meters. He runs with the help of a guide runner named Annika Voss, a Proctor grad, collegiate runner. This is an outstanding young man. He told me he wants to become a teacher for the blind and the visually impaired. Do not doubt Mason Archibald of Proctor. That's the number two story. And the number one story, this story was number one 5 years ago. And the fifth anniversary, it's number one again. That's never happened. It's the Henning boys basketball team from 2019. They won their school's first state championship that year. And the story was, not only was it a great team, they dedicated the season to a teammate of theirs who had been killed in a traffic accident, Jacob Quam. They had his jersey with them on the bench during the season. When they won the state championship, the jersey was on a hanger. They put a gold medal around that jersey. In the post-game news conference, they held up Jacob's jersey. He remained part of that team. And now that had been 5 years. So the morning of the championship day of this year's boys state tournament, a memory popped up on my phone. It was a photo of those boys from Henning 5 years ago holding up Jacob's jersey. And so the Hornets coach, Randy Misigatis, he was at the boys state tournament this year. I texted him. I said, "Are you at Williams Arena?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I can see you. I'm up behind you." So we met out in the hallway at Williams Arena, and I said, "It's been 5 years. Tell me what that's been like." And it was incredible. He kind of gave me the update on the, most of the seniors from that team, what they're doing now. Some of them still live in Henning or nearby. Some are far away. But the thing was, they have remained so close to Jacob's mom, Angie. When Mother's Day rolls around, these kids who were teammates with her son, they send her flowers, they send her cards, they call her. If they live in town or if they're visiting, they spend time. Earlier this spring, they had a reunion of that team from 5 years ago. Angie was as big a part of that as anybody. And I called Angie on this Saturday, this past March, after Randy kind of gave me the update. And that was her only child. And Angie told me, she said, "I don't have my own son, but I have everybody else's." This is incredible. What those young men did 5 years ago, what they're still doing now, 5 years after high school. It's a story of community, of support and love. That's why it's my number one story from the past school year.
Hard to imagine a better one.
Yeah. I mean, the Brave Light game's phenomenal. Mason Archibald, holy cow. But this one, it's got legs. This is going to be, I may write about those kids 5 years from now again. When it's 10 years, I'm still around and able to type. I may make some phone calls and do it again. It's just, I've been doing this so long, Jim, so many great stories over the years, and Randy also told me, he's doing some speaking engagements now, talking about the kind of person Jacob was, the kind of support his mom got when he passed away, and how that support continues. And when I was up there a couple of weeks after that state championship 5 years ago, Randy was showing me around, and Jacob's locker in the locker room still locked. His shoes are in there. Some other stuff's in there. It hasn't changed. His stuff is still in that locker. His name is still on the locker. It's still locked. There's a plaque on the hallway outside with a photo of him talking about him. So Jacob is still inspiring people. That team is still inspiring people. And the way they've hung together and supported Jacob's mom, it's incredible.
That's fantastic. That's amazing. I was going to ask you about your summer plans, but I think that's the right place to end this show.
I think so.
Top 10, and we'll talk about our summers later on in the month. Great stuff, John. Great work all year as always. Looking forward to at least one more year of getting to hear your stories here before you figure out what you're going to do next, start your next career.
After I retire a year from now, I'll be easing into retirement, and I don't know what that's like. I don't know anything about that. It'll be fun, I hope.
I think you're ready for it, and I think you've done enough. But we get you for one more year, and I'm appreciative of that.
You got it, Jim. It's just, I love doing this podcast. It's just a real treat for me.
No, it's been great, and I appreciate all the work you put into it. Hey, so thanks, everybody. Again, if you like the show, please subscribe to your favorite podcast app. Again, it's the easiest way to listen. It's also completely free to you. Check out talknorth.com, and look forward to more John's Journals and Preps Today with John Millea podcasts.